Hey, good morning, everybody. It's 11:33 a.m. Pacific Time on this Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. We are 4 days away from the Super Bowl and 9 days away from Valentine's Day. Yes, yes, that is true. But speaking of Valentine's Day, I'm getting into that in a minute. I wanted to do this follow up though on my audio video I did, one of the last ones I did last night, talking about the whole dynamic changing from MeTV Tunes. We know that when it was first introduced back in May, what is it, May, March, April, something like that of last year, and then officially, on air come June. We knew that, especially with people like Andre Meadows, myself, and others talking about the fact that the initial schedule, was not going to stay the same throughout its run. Well, that's pretty much been proven a fact because, as we've seen, a lot of new shows have come in to be part of the lineup and everything, like Heathcliff and Dingbat, Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles, and so on. And many more are coming as well. We know that's going to be happening. Uh, but but be that as it may, we didn't really see too much of a significant change like I said, with the exception, trying to find the right word to say here, with the exception of those few shows being added in, as I mentioned. Now we do know that the whole fiasco, and I talked about this yesterday about Rocky and Bullwinkle and their situation and what happened there. Not really sure if it's a scheduling conflict, like maybe the distributor didn't like how Rocky and Bullwinkle were being scheduled throughout, the whole 7 day week, or it's a licensing contractual situation they got to renew, or it's something that has to do with the episodes where they want to remaster them to near maybe 2K HD, who knows, or maybe regular broadcasting did something that they weren't supposed to do, and they showed an episode or two that was not supposed to be seen. We're not really sure, But even MeTV Tunes did come out and say, hey, for the foreseeable future, you're not going to see Rocky and Bullwinkle on here for the time being. Now, there are other areas you can find Rocky and Bullwinkle. You can find them on YouTube, I think. You can find them on Peacock and so on. So there are places you can find them, and that might be what the issue is too. Maybe Peacock's like, hey, they're not supposed to have Rocky and Bullwinkle, only us. So get them to take it off. If that's the issue, if that's the reasoning, then okay, fine. Let us know that. Let us know. Hey, Peacock said, hey, they're not supposed to be airing this show. We are. We have the exclusive rights. So if that's the case, we'll have to see eventually in the future. But it might have to do with maybe an episode or two that wasn't supposed to be aired, or it might just be a contractual situation, or something. We'll find out. If it's a scheduling conflict, then fine. That's easily fixable. Just put them at a time where they know people will watch them. Sandwich them in between shows people want to see, so that way when they want to get to the other show they want to see, they have to watch Rocky and Bullwinkle. Do that. I think that would make sense if that's the case. But again, we're not really sure. Uh, but yeah, we know that situation's happening right now. We do know that this Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, they're going to be airing as part of the Flintstones Family Fun Day block, of Flintstones Family Sunday block. They're going to be airing in its debut on MeTV Tunes, I Yabba Dabba Doo, which was the 1992 animated film, made for TV animated film that broadcast first on ABC, that married off Pebbles and Bam Bam. That's going to be airing. And then following that is going to be the Smurfs Valentine special, A Smurfy Valentine. Which, by the way, in case you guys don't know, a little 10-second teaser was put out by Rihanna and by Paramount and such. And tomorrow morning, we're going to be getting the first trailer for the new Rihanna-led, Chris Miller-written Smurfs animated film. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, they're going to be having a Smurfy Valentine air right after I Yabba Dabba Doo this Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, on MeTV Tunes. Now, with that said as well, we do know that some other shows are coming. We know that the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, which was a revival in the 90s of the classic Johnny Quest show, that's going to be coming. And honestly, I could tell you, I've seen a little bit of that when it was on. I thought it was really, really well done. I thought it was greatly updated, modernized, and everything, and really brought the characters into being what, many felt they could, be like, if you aged up the characters significantly to being more like, hey, we can handle this on our own. We don't need the guardian parents and all that with us. We can do this on our own. So I like that. I like that they did that. You kind of saw them do that with Ben 10 as well, so that was kind of cool to see. With them doing something similar there. But yeah, The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend when it comes out, check it out. It is really, really good. We also found out that they're going to be introducing a new programming block, which they're going to be giving people a sneak peek to come February 16th. That programming block, which they're going to give a 3-hour sneak peek to on Sunday night, is the House of Hanna-Barbera. That's going to be coming. The week of the 16th and 17th, and starting the 17th, it will have a regular 2-hour block, basically in the morning, afternoon, depending on where you're at, and basically it'll also have a slot on Sundays as well, and I'll get into that in a moment. And speaking of the House of Hanna-Barbera, MeTV Tunes did list off, basically, if I can bring it up without any issues here, they did bring up MeTV Tunes, that is. They did bring up basically, an update, I should say. I'm trying to find the right words to say. I'm looking up this on Twitter as I'm doing this. But they did put out an update here on their website. They did put up an update on the website today, on the 3rd, actually, a couple of days ago. But it's now being featured. People are they're now just posting it on the Twitter page and all that. But here's what they're saying. And all that. Basically, they're saying starting February 17th, House of Hanna-Barbera will air on weekdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Eastern and 10 a.m. Central. And again, if you're watching through streaming, you got to subtract it by several hours depending where you live going westward. And then Sundays at 1 p.m. 12 Central, and again subtract the time if you live westward, basically if you want to see it, I should say, at that time on Sundays, which would be 1 p.m. 12 Central. Again, on the weekdays it's 11 a.m. 10 Central. On Sundays it's 1 p.m. 12 Central. And again, subtract some time away from that if you live out towards the west and everything, if you're watching on streaming and such. Then, they also talk about, and I've mentioned this yesterday, that they will be hosting a sneak peek of the House of Hanna-Barbera on Sunday, February 16th at 8 p.m. 7 Central. Again, subtract time if you're watching on streaming, if you live closer to the West Coast. And they say there will be a 2-hour block jam-packed, they say the House of Hanna-Barbera will be a 2-hour block jam. Let me reread that. Let me read that, guys. It says, House of Hanna-Barbera will be a 2-hour block jam-packed with your favorite Hanna-Barbera shorts. Here is a list of some of the characters who will be joining us on MeTV Tunes. They state, Huckleberry Hound, we knew that. Yogi Bear, we knew that. Pixie, Dixie, and Mr. Jinx, we knew that. Ricochet Rabbit and Droop Along, we didn't know that. That's going to be happening. Pumpkin Puss and Mush Mouse. Pumpkin Puss and Mush Mouse, that's going to be coming. Snagglepuss is going to be coming. Squiddly Diddly is going to be coming. Those last two we knew about. Yankee Doodle, we didn't know about that. He's coming. Breezely and Sneezely, they're coming. Hokey Wolf, he's coming. Loop-de-de-loop, he is coming. Now, you guys, for anybody that's wondering, wait a minute, why did you say he when it comes to Loop-de-de-loop? I thought Loopity was a female. In the Jellystone series, she is. Loop-de-loop is female in the Jellystone series. But in the original incarnation of the character, it was male. And Loop-de-loop is male in these original cartoons. So if there's a little confusion, now you know. Again, the Jellystone version, female. The original version you're going to see as part of the House of Hanna-Barbera is not. But yeah, Loop-de-loop is part of this. Wally Gator, we knew was going to be part of this. Touche Turtle and Dum Dum, we knew was going to be part of this. Winsome Witch, she's going to be part of this. That's a surprise. Animat, we knew that was coming. The Hillbilly Bears, I'm looking forward to this. I like the Hillbilly Bears. They're going to be coming. Precious Pup, that's going to be coming. Magilla Gorilla, we knew that was going to be coming. Lippy the Lion and Hardy Har Har, which have kind of had their genders and aged up significantly in Jellystone, they're going to be coming. And everything. Secret Squirrel rounds it out as well. And that's the 20, and that is just 20 of the plus Hanna-Barbera shorts that will be part of the House of Hanna-Barbera. And that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Some we knew, some we didn't know, and everything. And again, if you guys get a little confused as to why Loopity-Loop is male in these classic cartoons, because that's how he was initially created, or the character was initially created. The same with Har Har, I think. Har Har was initially male, but again, with Jellystone and the times and everything, they switched the genders and all that. And of course, with Lippity and Har Har, they aged them up to be senior citizens. No offense when I say that. But yeah, those are the shows. I mean, those are the characters that are going to be part of the House of Hanna-Barbera. Looking forward to that. And again, when it comes on, if you're watching, if you live, close to the West Coast, if beyond that, then you're going to have to subtract it. If you're watching on streaming, subtract it by several hours. That's all I'm going to say. So if it comes on at 11 a.m. Pacific Eastern, 10 Central, subtract it by several hours if you live towards the West Coast. If beyond that, like in Hawaii or Alaska. Sorry if I sound a little confusing there. But yeah, that's basically what the it's gonna have. Hold on, guys, I'm getting a little tongue tied here. Hold on. Sorry, got a little tongue tied there. But that's basically what's gonna be happening with the show. And again, to avoid any confusion, Loopity-Loop in the classic incarnation of the character that's going to be part of House of Hanna-Barbera, always male, as well as Har Har of Lippy Lion and Har Har was always male. But again, because of the changing of the times and all that, and the equality stuff and everything, they made them female. And when in the case of Lippity and Har Har, aged them up, significantly. But anyway, with that said, those are the 20 cartoons that are going to be part of the House of Hanna-Barbera, along with many others, I'm assuming. Because they can't just keep it like that, or else you're going to get repetitive, and people don't like that. So they're going to probably add more shows in. Maybe not just classic animated shorts, but we'll probably look at it like half-hour cartoons and everything, like they used to do with the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera on TBS when that was out. Now, with that said, let's take a look at the schedule, because they did put out a schedule for this upcoming month, for this month, I should say, in these upcoming weeks. Trying to get my words right there. But they did put out a schedule, and I'm going to read it here for you guys, and you'll see it probably scrolling down as well. But here is the schedule. Now, here's the thing. Some of this is unchanged. Some of these shows where they're slotted in are unchanged. They are unchanged and everything. So that's kind of cool. Now, here's the thing. Again, before I want to reiterate this. If you're watching on Philo, if you're watching on Friendly, you need to subtract these times I'm going to tell you by the hours, by the local time you live in, depending on, what state you're in going west. If you live, on the mountains, or you live in the mountain time zone, you live in the west coast time zone, you live in the Hawaiian time zones, those two there, or the Alaskan time zone, subtract it by that time. So in other words, if something's on at 6, it's going to be 3 on the west coast. It's going to be maybe 1 on Hawaiian time, and maybe even 2 Hawaiian time, because I think they got 2 different time zones, 2 and 1 Hawaiian time, and then I think about 1 a.m. Alaskan time, maybe even midnight Alaskan time. But again, subtract it by several hours, depending on where you live locally, if you're watching on Friendly TV or Philo. But this is the schedule starting effectively the 17th of this month. Now, they did highlight a lot of the changes. Like any of the shows that you see highlighted in blue, those are the changes. Those are the changes that were made. So, here's what the schedule looks like going forward starting the 17th of this month. Captain Planet, Captain Planet and the Planeteers, they will remain at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. Okay, we're going to start with this, the Monday through Friday schedule. Captain Planet and the Planeteers at 6 a.m., will remain where they are. The same with Police Academy at 6:30, 7 a.m., The Real Ghostbusters, and 7:30, Beetlejuice. So those are going to remain where they are, from 6 to 8, and again, subtract time if you're watching on streaming. But then here's where some of the changes come in. At 8 a.m., The Mask. That's right, The Mask. It used to come on late at night, very late at night, and everything. The Mask is going to be on at 8 a.m. That will be followed by Underdog. That's right, Underdog got moved. It'll be on at 8:30 a.m. Then following that, you will get an hour from 9 to 10 of Bugs Bunny and Friends. That got moved up. Casper and Company will remain where they are at 10 a.m. from 10 to 11. And then from 11 to 1, you will get the House of Hanna-Barbera. Then from 1 to 2, you will get Popeye and Pals. Then from 2 to 3, you will get the Woody Woodpecker Show. Then from 3 to 4, you will get Super Friends. And then from 4 to 5, you will get an hour of Scooby-Doo. Tom and Jerry will remain where they are at 5 to 6. Then at 6 o'clock, you'll get the Yogi Bear Show. At 6:30, you'll get the Magilla Gorilla and Peter-Potamus Show. At 7, you will get the Jetsons. And then between 7:30 to 11, that's pretty much unchanged with the Flintstones at 7:30. 2 hours of Bugs Bunny and Friends, and an hour of Cartoon All-Stars. Now, here's where the changes come in when it comes to where Rocky and Bullwinkle were initially. Now, initially at 11 o'clock, Rocky and Bullwinkle at night, 11 o'clock at night, Rocky and Bullwinkle would be on. But because of the whole situation there, they have been replaced with Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. That's right, Hanna-Barbera's forte in the 70s into adult animation and adult, content, if you will. Basically, precursor to what The Simpsons, Family Guy, and American Dad are, and Futurama and all that are today. Wait Till Your Father Gets Home was one of the first to go in that area, or kind of test that genre out. So it's going to be taking the place of Rocky and Bullwinkle Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Then, Tune In With Me will air for an hour. That is significantly unchanged. Speed Racer is going to be given an hour. It's going to now have an hour block to itself. So at 12:30, it's going to come on. And it's also going to come on at its regular 1 a.m. time slot. Marine Boy will stay where it's at 1:30 a.m. Then, get this, Super Friends. Super Friends will get an hour from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. And then that will be followed by, get this, it's finally here, Silverhawks. Silverhawks will show up at 3 a.m. in the morning. And then that will be followed by the GoBots, which moves up to, or goes down, I should say, to 3:30 a.m. Or at least loses. Actually, the GoBots used to have an hour to themselves, so now they only got a half hour. They still retain that hour, but they still retain that hour, I should say, and I'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, Challenge of the GoBots at 3:30 a.m., which will follow Silverhawks, which is on at 3 a.m. Then for an hour, you get Thunderbirds. That's right, Thunderbirds will be from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. And then at 5 a.m., you get Supercar. And then at 5:30 a.m., you get Plastic Man. That's right, Plastic Man is going to be at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. So again, the ones highlighted in blue, those are the new shows coming in, as well as the new time slots the already established shows will be a part of. So there you go. That's Monday through Friday. Then Saturday mornings. This is going to be interesting. On Saturday mornings, we will have remaining at 6 a.m., we will have Alf, the animated series. But then at 6:30 a.m., we will have Alf Tales. That's right. Now I want you to remember this. Alf, the animated series, and Alf Tales, they used to occupy about almost 2 hours worth of Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. We'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, Alf, the animated series at 6 a.m., Alf Tales at 6:30 a.m., and that is going to be followed. I don't know if people are going to like this or not. That is going to be followed by an hour of Yo Yogi. That's right, Yo Yogi is going to be on from 7 to 8 a.m. Now you might be wondering, well, wait a minute. Yo Yogi only had like 13 episodes. How are they going to do that? Let me explain this to you, okay? They only have Yo Yogi on, as far as I can tell. They only have it on at that time. Which basically means, ladies and gentlemen, that for the 13 episodes, they're going to have enough time to show them all. And if you want to DVR them, you're going to be able to DVR them. It's going to be able to, you're going to have enough time to see them all, and it's going to give them plenty of time to figure out what to put in its place once that run is done, unless they just keep constantly repeating it so you can catch up. So Yo Yogi will be on between 7 and 8, basically from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Then following that, Captain Planet, will remain in its hour time slot of 8 to 9, and the same with Hysteria from 9 to 10. Again, you got to have that educational quota. Then following Hysteria, you will get Scooby-Doo remaining in its hour time slot between 10 and 11. And then following that, here's where some of the schedule change comes in. You will have Josie and the Pussycats at 11 a.m. That'll be followed by Top Cat at 11:30. Then at 12 at noon, Underdog remains where he's at noon. Then that's followed by Johnny Quest. We can assume it's the real adventures of Johnny Quest. At 12:30. Because they did say it was going to come on, it was going to debut, I should say, on the 15th. So we can assume after Underdog airs at noon on Saturdays, at 12:30, you're going to get Johnny Quest, the real adventures of Johnny Quest. Then that's followed by a 2-hour block. That's right, 2-hour block of Super Friends. So you'll get Super Friends at its initial 2 to 3 hour block, but it will be preceded. It'll be preceded by another block of Super Friends at 1 to 2. So basically 1 to 3, you will get Super Friends on Saturdays. That's pretty cool. Then from 3 to 4, you'll get an hour of Speed Racer. Then from 4 to 5, you'll get the Tom and Jerry Show. Then Woody Woodpecker remains at its 5 to 6 time slot on Saturdays. Yogi Bear will now occupy apparently all 7 days, the 6 p.m. time slot, the Yogi Bear Show. The same with Magilla Gorilla and Peteropotamus, all 7 days at 6:30 p.m. And the same with the Jetsons. The Jetsons are going to occupy the 7 p.m. time slot all 7 days. And then the Flintstones, they remain at 7:30. As they always have on Saturdays. Bugs Bunny and Friends, the same thing. The 8 to 9 time slot will not change. Same with Cartoon All-Stars. Their 10 to 11 time slot will not change. Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. That is now going to be on Saturdays at 11 p.m., taking the place of Rocky and Bullwinkle. That'll be followed by Duck Dodgers, remaining at 11:30. At midnight, Two Stupid Dogs and Secret Squirrel will remain at 12:30 and 12:30 a.m. Freakazoid will remain, and at 1 a.m. The Mask on very late Saturday nights, going into very, very early Saturday mornings. The Mask at 1 a.m. will remain. Then here's where the schedule goes for the very late Saturday night, going into early Sunday morning comes into play. At 1:30 a.m., Police Academy, the series, will air after The Mask. After Police Academy, the series, at 2 a.m., you'll have The Real Ghostbusters. At 2:30 a.m., you will have Silverhawks. Then here's what's interesting. At 3 a.m., you will have Pac-Man. That's right, Pac-Man, the Hanna-Barbera one, will follow Silverhawks. Then at 3:30 a.m., you will have Plastic Man. And then everything after that remains where they were initially. GoBots will have the 4 to 5 a.m. block. And then that will be followed by the Completely Mental Misadventures of Ed Grimley. That will remain at 5. And then Mr. T, because of his popularity, will remain at 5:30. Because as one guy said in the interview, in the interview with Andre Meadows, the A-Team is one of their top programs on MeTV. on the MeTV channel, or one of their channels. So why not keep Mr. T where he's at? So that's the schedule for Saturday. Then comes Sunday. Sunday is going to be interesting. Sunday, this is where it changes up, because Alf used to occupy, early Saturday and Sunday mornings. Not anymore, because starting Sunday morning at 6 a.m. to 7, basically for an hour, you'll get an hour block of Inspector Gadget, and then following that, you will get an hour's worth from 7 to 8 a.m. of Baby Looney Tunes. That's right, Baby Looney Tunes will follow Inspector Gadget. Then following Inspector Gadget, you will have Casper and Company, and then following Casper and Company, which will be at 8 to 9, Casper and Company, and then following Casper and Company from 9 to 10 will be the Tom and Jerry Show, and then from 10 a.m. to 11, you'll have an hour of the Woody Woodpecker Show. At 11 a.m., you will have the Underdog Show, and then for the first time in the daytime, because it's usually very late at night, at 11:30 a.m. you will have Totally Tuned In. Now, if I remember right, I'm going to look at my original schedule because I haven't hung up. If I remember right, yeah, Rocky and Bullwinkle used to be on at 11:30 a.m. because they used to be on, I should say, at 11:30 a.m. But because of that situation, as I mentioned earlier, they cannot be aired. So Totally Tuned In is going to get an extra half hour, but this time for the first time during the day. So Totally Tuned In is going to follow the Underdog Show because of that situation. Bugs Bunny and Friends will remain at the noon to 1 p.m. time slot on Sundays. The House of Hanna-Barbera will air from 1 to 3. They will air from 1 to 3 on Sundays, and then that will be followed by the Scooby-Doo Sunday specials. That'll be from 3 to 4. And then the Flintstones Family Sunday from 4 to 3 will air. I don't know how they're going to do that. They might have to bump Scooby-Doo down by, they're going to have to bump Scooby-Doo. Well, actually, this is not going to go into effect until the 17th, so I don't think they have to worry about that much, because the Flintstones Family Sunday initially currently right now is 2 hours. So I don't think they have to worry about that. That's why they're getting that, Yabba Dabba Doo thing out of the way. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, Scooby-Doo Sunday specials at 3 to 4, or from 3 to 4, and Flintstones Family Sunday from 4 to 5, which kind of tells me that from that point on, starting the 17th, they're going to be doing like maybe the regular half-hour specials and all that, as well as some of the other Flintstone-related material that they've shown already. So like you might get the Flintstone Kids finally airing. Well, you did have the Flintstone Kids, I should say, already airing, so you'll probably have them airing again. So it's going to basically be an hour block. What they're doing here, because of the schedule change and everything with the House of Hanna-Barbera and such, is they're reducing some of the hour-long, if not 2 hour-long blocks they've had to less than that. So Scooby-Doo, like I said, Scooby-Doo Sunday specials, they will follow the Hanna-Barbera. Okay, so let me reread this. Okay, House of Hanna-Barbera will be 1 to 3, and then from 3 to 4 will be Scooby-Doo Sunday specials, and then from 4 to 5 will be the Flintstones Family Sunday, and then following that at 5 o'clock will be the Smurfs, and then following the Smurfs you will have at 5:30 Top Cat, at 6 Yogi Bear, as I mentioned earlier, Magilla Gorilla, Peter Pan at 6:30, as I mentioned earlier, the Jetsons at 7, as I mentioned earlier, and then the Flintstones will get the 7:30 time slot on on Sunday evenings. Excuse me. They'll get the 7:30 time slot on Sunday evenings. Let me see what occupied that before. Yep, Rocky and Bullwinkle. So yeah, a lot of these things you're seeing is all due to the fact that Rocky and Bullwinkle had to be taken off. So there you go. So yeah, that's why the Jetsons are getting Sunday through that. That's why the Jetsons, That's why the Jetsons and the Flintstones are getting this Sunday through Saturday time slot from 7 to 8 because, of the Rocky and Bullwinkle situation. And then following the Flintstones from 8 to 11, this will be unchanged. from 8 to 11, unchanged, will be the Sunday night Cartoon All-Stars. Then at 11, because of the Rocky and Bullwinkle situation, you'll get an hour of Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, so from 11 to midnight. Then from midnight to 3 a.m., Totally Tuned In will remain the same. Nothing will change there. But then here's what's interesting. If you grew up in the 90s and everything, you know about this show. You will get a 2-hour block of the Wacky World of Tex Avery. This was a block basically where they showed Tex Avery inspired cartoons and everything. So you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that as well. From 3 to 5 a.m. And then unchanged, The Real Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice. But yeah, basically that is your schedule. That is your schedule. Let me catch my breath here. That is your schedule effective, the 17th of this month. And again, the reason some shows are getting extra time and everything, or an extra day, is because of the whole Rocky and Bullwinkle situation. I guarantee if that situation wasn't an issue, that Rocky and Bullwinkle would be in those time slots. You wouldn't see an hour of Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. You wouldn't see an extra daytime edition of Totally Tuned In after the Underdog show on Sundays. You wouldn't see 7 days a week of the Jetsons and the Flintstones, or mostly the Jetsons, if you will. You wouldn't be seeing that and all that if it wasn't for basically the whole Rocky and Bullwinkle situation as well. So, I guarantee, so I will say this. Don't expect this schedule to remain as is, because just like the initial schedule, it will change. I don't see Heathcliff and Dingbat on there, so I'm guessing it's a very limited series they're doing with that. I guess it's only very limited with Heathcliff and Dingbat. I don't have to worry about that, though, because I do have Heathcliff and Dingbat, thanks to Frank Hill. He sent that to me, so I have that. But, yeah, it seems like they're only doing that for a limited time. And then, again, I'm guessing what's going to happen come the spring, because, again, this is for the first quarter. I want you to notice on the top right, it says first quarter 2025. So what that tells me is you're going to have the schedule change significantly or slightly changed and all that every quarter. So a lot of these initial shows that are still there, that have been there since the start of MeTV Tunes, expect some of them to lose a half hour, if not be completely removed, for basically a new show to come into play, or expect a lot of the hour blocks or 2-hour blocks to be reduced to half hours, hours and a half, or just an hour due to some of the new shows coming in. So again, just like with the initial schedule, this is not permanent. This is only for the first quarter, and come the second quarter, you're going to probably see a new significant change. So again, I want you to look at that thing at the top. It says first quarter 2025. That basically is telling you that essentially this is only going to be for the first quarter. Second quarter, things are going to change. What they'll be changed into, what shows will be taken off, what shows will be reduced from 2-hour blocks to an hour block to an hour and a half block to from an hour to a half hour, we shall see. We do know that TMNT is coming, so that's going to be something that they're going to have to be selecting a certain time, time and day, for in the future. And whatever gets sacrificed for that, we'll see as well. Whether being removed or reduced, we shall see. But guys, that's just basically what the schedule is upcoming for MeTV Tunes in this first quarter of 2025, starting the 17th of this month. Let me know what you're looking forward to the most, schedule-wise. What are you not looking forward to the most? And what shows do you think, when we approach the second quarter, are going to be added in that have been kind of teased and everything by MeTV Tunes? What shows do you think will be added in? What blocks do you think are going to get reduced from 2 hours to an hour to maybe an hour and a half to a half hour? Let me know. Love to hear your thoughts and everything on that. And until next time, guys, comment down below, like the video, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, click on the links in the description. You can find me at all your favorite audio and video podcast affiliates like iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Radio Public, Overcast, Spotify. You name it, if it has podcast as a part of it or it's its main focus, you more than likely will find my podcast there as well. Also, support me over at patreon.com at bwrosas. Also, find me at VENMO.com at bwrosas. Also, find me at rumble.com at bwrosas and at odyssey.com at bwrosas. Also, guys, check out the Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. Also, find me at deviantart.com at bvw1979 and check me out at inkbunny.net at bwrosas. And also check me out at Venmo and Cash App to help support there, as well as check me out at twitter.com at bwrosas and at Blue Sky at bwrosas. Again, guys, love to hear your thoughts on all this. What are you looking forward to the most? What are you not looking forward to? What blocks do you think will get reduced when we hit the second quarter from 2 hours to an hour to an hour and a half to a half hour? Let me know. Love to hear your thoughts on everything on it. What are your thoughts on the whole Rocky and Bullwinkle situation? Give me your thoughts. And until next time, guys, I am